Hello, welcome back. Are you ready for chapter 3? Let's see. Chapter 3 Ordinary meets Bullies in the Borderland. Not far past the sign, Ordinary's path sloped downward. Ahead he saw the wide waters and the bridge to the unknown. Between him and the bridge lay the borderland, an open stretch of flat ground. Ordinary was surprised to see, standing in the middle of the borderland, a few nobodies from Familiar. One of the nobodies, who looked more familiar than most, was hurrying toward him. It was his mother. She rushed up and threw her arms around Ordinary. "Oh, Ordi, my baby, thank goodness we got here in time." "But how did you get here so fast?" "When you're not really leaving Familiar, you don't have to break through all that dreadful discomfort." "Mom, why are you here? You must not go on." "I was so alarmed when I heard you were leaving Familiar. I know you told us that you were, but I never thought you would. Honestly, 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 what are you thinking? It's not safe. You could get hurt. You could even die." "But it's my big dream, Mother," said Ordinary. "It's a wonderful dream and I want to pursue it." He tried to reassure his mother. He told her that as big dreams go, he was only a little his. He told her that as big dreams go, his was only a little life-threatening. But this seemed to alarm his mother more than ever. As they walked across Borderland, Ordinary spotted his uncle and best friend. Ordinary's uncle strode up first. "So you've decided to become a dreamer?" he said accusingly. "Do you realize that you're going completely against every tradition in this family? Why should you become a somebody when the rest of us have always been happy being nobodies?" Before Ordinary could reply, best friend stepped in. "I was worried before, Ordinary," he said gravely, "but the more I've thought about it, the more convinced I am that you could not succeed at this. I cannot stand by and watch you go down that path in defeat." Ordinary was speechless and bewildered. He had heard a rumor about border bullies, but he had supposed that if it were true, bullies would be nobodies he did not know. He never imagined they would be some of the nobodies who know him best. Now, his mother, uncle, and best friend all stood silently before him, blocking his view of the bridge to his big dream. How would he ever get past them? Should he even try? He needed some time to think. He asked his bullies to wait for him. Then he walked alone down to the water's edge, where he sat on a large rock. Looking out over the wide waters, Ordinary thought and thought. He thought until he began to think that maybe his bullies were right. Maybe he was wrong to pursue his dream. Then Ordinary heard a voice call his name. When he turned to see who it was, he recognized a somebody. It was a champion, an old friend from Familiar who used to be a nobody. "Champion, what are you doing here?" Champion sat down on the rock beside Ordinary. "When I heard you had become a dreamer, I just had to come. I knew you would need some help." "Thanks. But did you see all my bullies?" "I saw them. They are bullies all right, but think of me as your border buster. I want to help you break through their opposition." Then Champion helped Ordinary understand what was happening. "Your mother, uncle, and best friend are doing what's natural. When you left your comfort zone, you really shook up their comfort zone. Each of them has something to lose if you go forward. That makes sense, said Ordinary. But what do I do now? How do I get all my bullies on my side? Well, you might not be able to. Wisdom is the key. Try to understand what's motivating them. Look for the merit of their concerns. Some bullies you need to simplify, dismiss, or avoid. But most border bullies have concerns that can help you clarify your plans. That's how a dreamer turns opposition into opportunity. Let's read this one more time. Some bullies you need to simplify, dismiss, or avoid. But most border bullies have concerns that can help you clarify your plans. That's how a dreamer turns opposition into opportunity. When Champion stood to leave, he said, "Hold fast to your dream, Ordinary. You're going to be a somebody someday. I just know it." Then he shook Ordinary's hand and jumped down from the rock. Remember, when bullies try to block your way, what matters most is who you choose to please. When bullies try to block your way, what matters most is who you choose to please. Ordinary thought about Champion's parting words. He decided it was time to talk to his bullies again. As the sun began to set, he walked back and forth along the water's edge, talking with them. He told them more about his dream. He learned from their concerns. Then he told them that he had decided to pursue his dream into the unknown. By sundown, Ordinary was ready to cross the border. As Mother handed him his suitcase, he saw tears in her eyes. "I have changed my mind, son. I want you to pursue your dream. And your father will be so proud of you. I think he wishes he had taken the same journey years ago." She hugged him goodbye. Ordinary shook hands with best friend and his uncle, who still did not look pleased. While the three watched, he walked towards the bridge over the wide waters. In the gathering dusk, Ordinary had failed to notice that another nobody stood on the bridge. But this nobody was not just any nobody. He was the landlord of Familiar. He was the one who decided what was right for nobody. He owned every inch of the land. He even owned the bridge. "I am denying you access to my bridge." "But why?" "Because I need every nobody to stay in Familiar at their usual job. I won't lose any more nobodies to this silly notion of dreams. I will not let you go." Ordinary tried hard not to panic. Wisdom told him that an antagonist like the landlord was the worst kind of bully. He had a lot to lose, and he did not care about Ordinary. What should he do now? What could he do? Then Ordinary remembered Champion's parting words, and that's when he decided to swim. He knew he might not make it. The wide waters were very wide, and he was not a very good or strong swimmer, but he had to try. While his bullies looked on, Ordinary walked down to the wide waters. He was about to step in when something caught his eye. A small boat was moored nearby. When he got closer, Ordinary saw a note on the seat of the boat. He picked it up and read, "Ordinary, if you have found this boat, I know you've chosen to please the dream giver. Enjoy a dry crossing. Your dream is waiting for you in the land of promise. I promise." Signed, Champion. Ordinary untied the boat, stowed his suitcase in front of the boat, and shoved off. As he rode out into the wide waters, Ordinary watched his border bullies grow smaller and smaller and smaller. When he was sure that he had finally really left Familiar, he waved his last goodbyes to the nobodies on the shore. By then, it was too dark to tell if they waved back. That very night, before he went to sleep in the tall, dry grass on the other side of the waters, Ordinary used the feather again to write in his journal. I met bullies at the Borderland. They were nobodies I knew. When I left Familiar, it upset the comfort zone of those close to me. They felt like they were losing something important. Even though my bullies tried to stop me, some of their concerns will actually help me. I could not sway all my bullies. In the end, I had to decide who I would please. I chose to please the dream giver who gave me my dream. And that's the end of chapter 3. And I'll see you again in chapter 4. I hope you're enjoying this. All right.